This is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at a really rad 1970s Fender Telecaster, which has been a while since we've taken a look at an old Fender Telecaster, but this one is a 1977 Fender Telecaster in its original three-tone Sunburst finish. Also features a ton of mojo, because this is obviously by no means mint. Got some various nicks, dings, and finish checking and finish pieces missing, but that is only just adds to the mojo that this guitar brings. Really cool, really cool guitar, and just your normal Fender Telecaster really when it comes to the the layout and the configuration. So just your traditional Fender Telecaster pickups, the traditional controls, traditional construction, traditional body, really, obviously the standard, really, the Fender Telecaster was pretty much the very first solid body electric guitar, or back then it was called the Esquire when it was first introduced. And it hasn't really changed ever since, and then in the 70s they came up with some new models, but the normal Fender Telecaster was then still around, and it still looked like this, and it worked just the same way as we all know and love. So yeah, really cool guitar with a ton of mojo, and it also sounds really great. Let's dive into the specs. So a 1977 Fender Telecaster would get an all-the body. This one obviously comes in a very cool looking 3-color Sunburst finish, which was also, I believe, introduced in, especially kind of like this tint of Sunburst was also more so a 1970s type of a tint. It does feature various nicks and dings and scratches. This guitar has been gigged quite a lot. So yeah, obviously it is by no means mint, but it is also not abused by any means. But this also then being from the 1970s, it does get kind of like the more polyurethane style of a clear coat finish. So you do got some finish chunks missing. So over here, right next to the bridge, you got some big chips missing, which is what would then happen with these polyurethane style of a finishes. Also here at the neck heel, but it doesn't cause any problems whatsoever, and it is totally secure. So yeah, really no worries there. But obviously along that you do got various nicks and dings and scratches and all of that stuff. What's also actually very cool to know and quite rare to see is that this is a pretty normal weight. Like Fenders as well as Gibsons from the 1970s tend to weigh quite a bit more, but this one is really the exception. Like this is just a really nice weight, like not too heavy, not too light. Really kind of like in between. It does kind of lean more towards the light side, but that is really a big plus and really rare to see, like I said, because like in the 1970s Fender guitars and as well as various brands of guitars are really heavy. So that is a big plus on this particular 1977 Fender Telecaster. Just got your black multiply pickguard, and the pickups are the original Fender Telecaster pickups, as we all know and love. Got the good old twang over here in the bridge position, and the middle position actually sounds really cool, like very full and quite bassy actually. This is actually a very cool and unique type of sound that you do not hear a whole lot on normal Fender Telecasters with the in-between position. So that is really kind of like where this one does kind of like stand out. I just think that it really brings a very cool sound, and the neck pickup by itself also has the just the classic sound that you would expect from a neck pickup on a Fender Telecaster. So all three positions obviously sound fantastic, as we will hear so in a bit. Obviously the controls are also very much traditional, so you've got this metal panel right here, which is your master volume and master tone control, and then through a pickup selector switch. Input jack over here on the side. maple neck with also then a maple fingerboard with your skunk stripe over there on the back. As for the profile, really 1970s style Fender profile, so really kind of like medium size and nicely rounded, just a C shape, but nothing too special, just overall a very nice feeling and playing neck that is very much accessible. So yeah, most people would be just fine with a neck like this, that it just plays really well as is. Like I said, maple fingerboard, which is your black dot inlays. The frets are in a pretty good shape. You do got some wear going on, but nothing too major. Probably like 70% left in them, like life left in them. So don't have to worry about it right now, as of now, but you do got some wear going on. So also over here on the higher frets, those have been kind of like flattened a little bit. So those then have been used quite a bit, but it just plays fine as is. Nothing to worry for now, but I do believe that this could use a refret somewhere in the coming decade or so, depending on how much you play. But like I said, plays fine as is, so no problems there whatsoever. Got the original bone nut, then your headstock, obviously Telecaster shape with your decal, and then your dual string trees, and then on the back you've got these Fender embossed tuners. Last thing to mention, also comes with a hard shell case, not the original one, but just a really fine hard shell case. So that's always nice to have. So yeah, all in all, classic Fender Telecaster, but then from 1977. So you do get a little bit of a different look with that black pickguard and the three-tone Sunburst. But it is still just the golden standard Fender Telecaster as we all know and love them. Really sounds fantastic and also just plays really nice, and then the weight is also very nice to have. You don't see that a lot on Fender guitars from this era. So very cool guitar. Let's see what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this 1977 Fender Telecaster in a three-tone Sunburst finish, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool electric guitars like these, or cool acoustics, bass guitars, even all that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's hear what this 1977 Fender Telecaster sounds like. Going to be playing it through this late 1970s, so it's kind of a match. Fender Pro Reverb. First be playing the clean tones, and then I'll be playing you the dirty tones for which I will be using a non-horsey clone. So let's move on to that part, and let's take this really vibey Fender Telecaster from 1977 for a spin.
Bye.